the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods of Moving and Storage Studio. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Christina Ellis, #1 best-selling author and Ramsey personality, is my co-host today as we take your questions about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. You jump in and we will talk. Christina, big announcement today. It's been a week of big announcements, by the way. Good announcements. We launched the Gazelle debit card on Monday, and today we are announcing the coolest thing I've done, and I don't know when. So for those of you that don't know, we have a campus here south of Nashville in Franklin, Tennessee, beautiful Franklin, Tennessee, with a couple of, about 400,000 square foot of office space that'll hold up to 2,000 people. We've got about 1,100 in it, including our lobby and our broadcast studios, which are on the lobby. And we've usually got 50 to 200 people out here watching the show every day when we're doing it. We don't charge for that because it's pretty much like watching ugly paint dry. But we're glad you're here, studio audience. Thanks for hanging out with us. And up on top of the hill on this campus, we started construction of the Ramsey Event Center. It will be completed at the first of the year and holds about 2,500 people. And so we've been trying to figure out what our launch event is in this massive $50 million event center that is absolutely lights out, fancy, cool, fun, and we're excited about it. So what we decided to do was to do a smart conference, but a special kind of smart conference for a Nashville experience. Smart conference traditionally has started early on Saturday morning and gone all freaking day on Saturday, and we touch on every area of your life. We just did one in Dallas the other day. We talk about career and money, and Christina was there. Jade Warshaw, our newest Ramsey personality, was there. Of course, Ken Coleman, Dr. John Deloney, George Camel, Rachel Cruz, me. We had Craig and Amy Groeschel in from Life Church to speak on marriage. So we talk about money and marriage and mental health and career and every area of your life all day long. That's a smart conference. We've been doing those for about 5 or 6 years, and with various different speakers over the years. So this is a new thing. We're going to start on Friday night and go all day Saturday, as well as some special Nashville. Well, we're in Nashville. There's got to be some special Nashville guests, don't you think, Christina?
Of course.
And since I don't know who they are yet, we can't tell you who they are yet. But I'm probably going to call in a couple of favors with some of my buddies that are in the business here, and it'd be pretty cool it'd be cool if we could get some cool people to show up. In addition to the cool people that work at Ramsey. But so it's going to be a Nashville experience. The issue is this. The Smart Conference in Dallas was 6,000 tickets sold. It's typically a 6,000 to an 8,000 ticket event. The conference center, the new events center, only holds 2,400 people. So that's a problem for you people, because this thing's going to sell out in a freaking heartbeat, especially VIP seats and platinum seats, and they go on sale right now. Ready, set, go. At this instant, you can go for the first time ever to RamseySolutions.com/events and get your tickets right this second. The dates are April 14th and 15th. It's a Nashville experience, Friday night and Saturday. And so what you're going to do, because Nashville's a cool vibe. I mean, you're going to come in on Friday morning. You're going to go to the event on Friday night and Saturday. Saturday night, you'll have off in Nashville, and you get to stay over the weekend, and you get to make a Nashville thing out of it, and you'll plan the rest of your trip. But we're going to give you an anchor point here with the Smart Conference as the inaugural event at the Ramsey Events Center. You'll get commemorative tickets. So when the Nashville Predators came and opened up, whatever it was, 15 years ago, 12 years ago or whatever, my son Daniel and I went to the very first game.
Whoa.
And they gave out, commemorative pucks and tickets that were, fancy pantsy tickets. I've still got those. Stored away as memorabilia at the Ramsey household, just because I was there the day that it started. Well, that's kind of what this is. You're going to be there the day that the new Ramsey Events Center starts. And, oh, by the way, while you're here all weekend, we're going to give you the information, change your life, and you'll be smarter.
That is awesome.
This event we just did last weekend was so cool, and I can't wait to bring it to our own center.
Yeah, it was my first Ramsey Live event, and man, the energy was just electric. The feedback we've gotten, the team just coming back, everybody is just kind of bouncing off the walls, so excited about how it went.
Yeah, so we launched the brand new Gazelle debit card on Monday. We're launching live events left and right, the Building Wealth events, the new dates for the spring, and today, April 14th and 15th, with commemorative tickets, surprise guests, a different format, a Friday night and all-day Saturday smart conference, and a very limited seating, because traditionally these are 6,000 to 8,000, and we've only got 2,400 seats up there. So we're going to sell 2,400 commemorative tickets, and you'll have your Nashville experience lined out for the spring. It's a cool thing, so get your tickets while you can. RamseySolutions.com/events. Smart Conference on sale right now. Ready, set, go. I love it.
Yes, I'm personally excited about these surprise guests. We have so many people that are amazing right in our backyard. I'm eager to see who you're going to bring in, Dave.
They just show up around here occasionally and pop in and pop out, and those of you who don't know, the Ramsey Show, starting as the Money Game and later the Dave Ramsey Show, has been on the air here in Nashville for 30 years. And so I've gotten to know most of the music community through the process. And, they pretty much fall into one of two buckets: very, very, very business savvy and good with money, or completely freaking clueless with money. One of the two. So I've gotten to meet with them in both cases, and have dinner with them and help them out in either case. And when they did stupid with zeros on the end, or when they were doing something really smart and just asking my opinion. And I've gotten the pleasure of getting to know them. There's a lot of good folks in the music community in Nashville. So we'll see if any of them show up. No promises, because I don't have them booked, and I can't go to air with stuff I don't have booked. So we'll just kind of tease it out there that it's going to be a special Nashville event, and you don't want to miss it. April 14th and 15th. Oh, that's like tax day. That's perfect.
Oh,
yeah.
Quite the celebration.
We ought to celebrate that. We'll probably have some firearms involved. No, I'm kidding. Oh, my gosh. All right. Open phones at 888-825-5225. We invite you to jump in, and we'll talk about your life and your money. It's what we're doing here. Again, the Gazelle card, the debit card from Ramsey, is now available, and it allows you to spend and save the Ramsey way at RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle. We've had tens of thousands of you already open an account, already download the app. And we've got your Gazelle cards being printed and shipped to you very soon. And no fees, hooks seamlessly with every dollar. You don't want to miss out on that. So lots of fun stuff happening around here this week. It's a good week to be at work here. Funny, funny, funny. Good stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
Christina Ellis, #1 best-selling author. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Jake is with us. Jake's in Chicago. Hi, Jake. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my brother and sister have been married for a number of years, and they've been trying very hard to start a family. They've been unsuccessful, and they're now attempting IVF. And I've been the most blessed out of all of us kids financially, and I want to help them with that financially. And calling to figure out what is the best way to do that from a tax perspective. Last year I itemized my taxes, so I'd like to have that nice chunk as a write-off, but I also don't want them to I just want them to have the maximum amount of that sum.
Yeah, it won't be a write-off for you because they're not a nonprofit.
Okay.
But you can keep them from being taxed on it, or you from getting a gift tax on it, a couple of ways. What is your total net worth?
Over 300.
Okay. Over 300,000. And how much money are you talking about giving them?
10,000, up to 10.
Okay. It's very easy. An individual can give another individual up to 16,000 in this calendar year, in 22, without having any gift tax or any problems. So if you just write them a check for 10 grand, it's perfectly okay. It's not deductible. There won't be any gift tax on it, and they won't have any income tax on it.
Okay.
But but it's not deductible.
How would I go about doing a deductible if I wanted to do that? Like, they have a GoFundMe right now, but I know that
GoFundMes aren't deductible.
They're not?
No, absolutely not. Not unless they're associated with a 501c3. No,
okay.
You've got to have a 501c3, and you can't run something through GoFundMe and just determine, I'm raising money for my Chihuahua's nail clipping on GoFundMe and all the other crap that's on there. And, suddenly it becomes a tax-deductible ministry. It's just not. The only way I could think you could do it is if you gave it to your church and they gave it to her. But that could fall under directed giving, and it could cause the church a problem in the event of an audit. Honestly, if I'm in your shoes, I wouldn't screw with it. I would just give them the money and not worry about the taxes.
Okay.
I think you're going to get there's too many loops to jump through, too many potential pitfalls with you trying to create a deduction for doing it, and just not worry about it.
What if they had some sort of nonprofit that they went through for fundraising? For example, I know like Life Song for Orphans, we've given to a family who was trying to adopt a child, and they'd partnered with them. It was kind of like a GoFundMe for that, and that was a 501c3.
Yeah, but that's not a GoFundMe. That's a 501c3
right.
That's supporting this family, and you can give money to them. And so you can give money to the Red Cross, and they give it to a family. That's deductible, okay? But you can't just GoFundMe is not.
GoFundMe is not, no.
But you have to be careful. There's a thing the IRS calls directed giving, where you're trying to create a tax deduction where there really shouldn't be one, and you're running it through something like that. They'll step on that pretty hard. They're really tough on churches on it. And so you can do it, but you have to be just very careful, and there's a lot of little fine print. And for the deduction on 10 grand, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not going to save you that much, and I would just help them. You've got the money, just right. If it was us. Now, if you want to get super fancy, like the Ramsey Family Foundation, we can give to individuals. Like we help single moms in situations. We'll buy somebody a car, or we'll do something like that in different situations, or we could help somebody with an adoption, something like that. But the foundation is set up as a 501c3, and its charter, the way it's put together with the paperwork with the IRS, allows us to to minister to individuals as well as also give to ministries. And so in our case, but that's a super expensive thing to, I mean, we put a lot of money through the foundation every year, and it's all tax deductible. But and some of it goes to individuals in situations like that, and it's perfectly legal that way. But that's not for 10 grand. It's just not worth the trouble. It might cost you $15,000 to set up a foundation like that in legal fees. So it's just not worth fooling with. It is funny. It is. Let's expand it just a little bit. We need to say 16,000 an individual can give an individual. So if it's a married couple giving another married couple, for instance, mom and dad passing some money to their kid, okay, to a married couple to buy a house maybe or something like that, you can give $16,000 individual to individual. So you can pass 4 times that. Mom gives son 16 and daughter-in-law 16. Dad gives son 16 and daughter-in-law 16. Okay, and so now we've got, what is that, 64,000, right? 4 times 16 going. You can move without, but you have to write 4 checks. Be very specific that this is from her to her, from her to him, and so on, and so that if you get audited, then you don't get into a gift tax situation. So you can move that much without any taxes as well if you're just trying to avoid gift tax. All right, up next is going to be Jessica in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Jessica. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much for taking my call. I am the biggest fan, and I listen to you every single day. And my 3 teenage boys listen to you in the car, and so they're really learning some great stuff, too. But just to keep it brief, my question is, my husband and I are on baby step 6. We are down to the last $25,000 that we owe on the mortgage, and we have been hitting it hard like the last 4 months. Gazelle intense, cut out all spending, only buying groceries, gas, just the necessities. And so my question is, originally we were going to pay it off June of 2023. We've moved it up to March of 2023, and now that the end is getting to the point where it's in sight, my son the other night asked if we could take him to Nashville at the end of December for the Titans-Cowboys game. And I said, the only way I'm going to Nashville is if I can go see Dave and do our debt-free scream on the stage. So I want to know, would it be okay for us to take the remaining money out of our emergency fund to pay off the mortgage, or should we just be patient and pay it off March 1st like we were planning?
Well, it's not an emergency.
No.
Okay. We generally use an emergency fund for emergencies, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. How much is in your emergency fund?
So right now we have $37,000 in the emergency fund, and then like just $6,000 in like a sinking fund for cars. So that $37,000. If we did pay off the mortgage, our monthly expenses would be right at $3,000. So if we took that down to like $17,000 or $20,000, we would still have that 6 months in that emergency fund to cover unexpected.
Well, if you've got 6 months in your emergency fund, when the smoke clears on this question, then you've got an emergency fund that's overfunded.
Right. It is, and with our mortgage, it's close to being right. It's still a little bit over, but like if we take the
What's
mortgage
your household
out of the
income?
Equation, we're north of $200,000, probably $250,000 with my side hustle.
Well, I would use the car money in a heartbeat.
Okay.
We'll just delay buying a car. We'll get the house paid off because you're really focused on the house payoff. I'm willing to do that. And I'm willing to bring the emergency fund down as long as it's not dangerous. I just don't want to invite Murphy, because when you don't have an emergency fund, you're sending an engraved invitation to crap to come visit you.
Oh, and he's shown up ever since we got really aggressive. Like we had a $2,700 car repair. We had an unexpected water. So yeah. So
if you have 3 of those and then you end up making $200,000 a year with a paid for house and you're broke and can't eat, I don't like that plan.
Okay.
So you gotta stay above that, right? But if you're sitting there with $20K and you can still make it and you use the car money, does that sound okay to you?
Yeah. Absolutely. My first thought is, what if your roof leaks? What if, the car breaks down on the way to Nashville? There's so many things that could happen. So
yeah, you just don't want to go down too close. You don't want to violate where you're below the 3 to 6 months of expenses guideline, because you're just asking for crap, And if you can do it and not get below that, then and I'm definitely using the car money. That's a no-brainer. But I think you're going to make it. I got a feeling. Yeah. I got a feeling you're focused.
Well, and you've got such a great income. It's like, I think if you all are pretty aggressive between now and then, you got a good shot.
Yeah. And by the way, we don't recommend, it's not our program to be that intense when you're at baby step 6, but it's okay if you want to be. This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
Christina Ellis, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Greg and Becky are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi, we're
Hi,
great.
we're doing great.
Good. Welcome. Good to have you. Where do you live?
We live in McKinney, Texas.
Oh, we were just there. Yeah.
Oh, yes. We saw you on
we were there,
Saturday.
too.
Okay, we were there.
We were there, too.
Heading over the airport, drove right through McKinney. Yeah,
Oh,
right afterwards. Yeah, very cool. Good to have you guys. All right, how much debt you paid off?
Well, this last stretch was $77,470.
Okay, how long did that take?
7 months.
All right, and your range of income during that time?
Well, going back all the way, when we started this journey, it was about 65,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's about 180.
Okay, so you sound like you've had
It's a 13-year
give and
time
a give and a
span.
take. So give us the story. What happened here?
Well, back in 2010, when we all started this debt-free journey, it was started because of foreclosure and
In California.
just broke and hopeless and lost the condo, eating ramen and noodles and oatmeal 3 times a day. So she'd have food and Jackson would have food. And that's when we found you.
Wow.
Through some friends of ours. So it took us about 2 years to pay off that initial $58,000 of consumer debt.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up moving out of California to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We fled California.
Yes.
I had to get it in there.
So
Spoken like McKinney.
Yes.
I like it.
we ended up settling in McKinney. We bought a house in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And as we started staring down the figures and we broke that 6-figure mark, we're like, okay, how do we get this done now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in January, and then in July we sold it. Or sorry,
No.
we paid it off. We
Yeah.
paid it off.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So this is house and everything.
House and
This is our
everything.
house.
So this
Yes.
story goes from foreclosure to paid-for house.
Yes, sir.
Yes, in 13 years.
Wow, nice
Yeah.
story arc. Well done, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool. Yeah, from desperation to completely peaceful and satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
It's all her. She's the one been driving this train and doing a lot of the lifting, and I've been on it as well. But I mean, it doesn't happen without her. She's kept track of all the money and made sure everything gets done the way it's supposed to, and it's her.
Well, this is the man that will sacrifice for our family, though. We drove hoopties. I'm sure the horrible car about the same color as your car will pop up here. There it is. I hate that car.
Yeah.
The AC went out in Texas, and he drove it. He drove it to work and back. Our parents gave us cars at different times to help us get through because we didn't have the money, and we were saving and we were working so hard. So this is a man that will do whatever it takes to get it done. So it's the patience and the perseverance and all the planning. It's really 13 years is a long time, but I wouldn't change it.
Amen.
That's amazing. Y'all have really committed to this journey. You also had a big income jump. What was that?
So 10 years ago when we were in McKinney, a lady sitting across the table from me, she's here today supporting us. She moved away to Texas and she said, would you like to be a hairdresser? And I was a hairdresser in California, but she asked if I would take over her business. That was a huge blessing having her move away. But that has basically doubled our income. So
wow.
I went back to work, basically.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Then I got a couple of promotions here and there and moving up. And,
And what do
that's
you do?
obviously helped. I work for Toyota.
Okay. Doing what?
I work for, I'm basically a liaison between Toyota Financial and a handful of dealerships in
Okay,
Texas
all right.
and Oklahoma. So
Very cool.
Driving that hoopty, working at Toyota. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of flack for that.
I'll
Yeah.
bet you did.
Yeah.
A special kind of flack. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So y'all
like it.
sacrificed, you upped your income. Of all the things you did, what would you tell people is the key to getting out of debt?
I would say just be persistent and be patient. I mean, there were times where you just look at all the debt and go, how are we going to do this? But, you find ways to get it done, whether it's, changing your shopping habits, whether it's giving plasma or driving Uber or, driving things that you don't really want to drive, knowing that's just for a time, just remembering it's just for a time. I think I had that Dave Ramsey voice in my ear a lot, saying that it's just for a time, it's just for a time. And so just keeping your eye on the goal. The end goal was to change things for us, but change things for them too.
Yeah.
We wanted to give them a better opportunity and show them a different way. So it was more than just us that we're thinking about.
Yeah. Live like no one else, and so later you can live and give like no one else.
And based on that car, we lived like no one else.
Amen.
I had children making fun of my vehicle sometimes.
Hey, listen, if you haven't driven a car people have made fun of, you haven't lived.
Yeah.
Life is good. You need a car. You need a car at one point in your life that's so bad it needs a name.
Yes.
Yeah, I had Old Blue. Old Blue was a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have one of those, and so you can tell the grandkids, back in the day, we drove. You got to have something to tell them, right?
Yes.
Walked uphill both ways in the snow. Yeah, and it's just, you got to be able to do that. So well done, you guys.
Thank you.
Very well done. How's it feel to be free? House and everything.
It feels great.
When we got back from the bank, and we paid our final check, I remember coming back to the house thinking, I own that weed, and I own that pool, and I own everything about this house. It's all mine, and everything else is just pure profit from here on out. It's just going to go up. We're finally out of the pit, and y'all said on Saturday, we're standing at the top of this pile of mistakes that we've made, and we put our flag on the top and we said no more, and we're done, and we did it.
Yeah.
So I'm just, it just feels so good.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about paying off the house too, we walked into the bank to actually make that final payment. They didn't know how to process it.
Yeah. I think we were there like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
We're like, we'll wait. You just take your time.
You're going to figure it out.
Yeah,
we're not going anywhere.
We're not leaving.
Not today, boys and girls. Yeah. I love it. Well done, you guys. Very, very well done.
So
Good
what's
stuff.
next? Now that you have no house payment, no debt.
What's your first big buy, first big expenditure?
Well,
a car.
Well, no. We sold my truck this year to get that last $77,000 knocked out. So
he sold his Tundra.
Somewhere we'll get another car. I'll
There
get
it
another
is.
truck somewhere. To be in Texas and not have your Tundra is kind of like.
Yeah.
I can feel the pain.
Yeah. It's a little painful.
I can feel it. From
I
here.
didn't want him to sell it. I was like, no, you never have anything nice. This is your nice truck. It's paid for. Why would we get rid of it? But he said, Becky, it's so that we can all have more freedom. We'll get another truck down the road. It doesn't matter. There's always another vehicle.
Until you have your home paid off, you can't explain to other people how it feels.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's just because, all that research we did says that 100% of the foreclosures occur on a home with a mortgage.
That's true.
And
That's true.
you don't have one. And there's just something that snaps when you don't have that, and the peace floods in. So well done, y'all. Very, very well done. Hey, we got a copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody. Somebody that's on the journey. You can't help but talk about this stuff because it's changed your life. And the Baby Steps Millionaire book, which is your next chapter in your story. You're on your way to being that. What's the house worth?
Well, there's some debate. There's probably around $490 to $500.
And how much is in retirement?
About another $435.
So you're right on the cusp of being Baby Step millionaires.
We're so close.
We're just there. We're
Very
almost
well
there.
done. So really from foreclosure to millionaire. Not just paid for house, but to millionaire in 13 years.
Yes.
Yeah, from the very, very bottom, the worst of the worst, to where you stand. You guys are rock stars. Absolutely amazing couple.
We appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Very, very well done. Also got a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University. Again, use it or give it away. You can re-gift it to someone. That's what the purpose of the Live and Give bundle is for you to enjoy it and to give it to other folks. All right, bring the guys up. Let's introduce them and give them their ages. They've been on this journey as well.
Yep.
This is Austin. He's 11, and this is Jackson. He's 15.
All right. Well, they look like they've been fed pretty good. They're okay. I think
They're doing
gonna
all right,
make it.
yeah.
They're not too skinny.
No.
So life's pretty good, and they're sitting in a dadgum millionaire household. That's pretty cool. Did you ever think that? That's pretty cool. Very neat. Very well done. All right, Greg and Becky, Jackson and Austin, McKinney, Texas. Baby Steps millionaires are almost with $77,000, house and everything paid off. Last 7 months, the whole journey 65 to 180. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free. Yeah! That's how it's done. Woo! That's a true definition of a baby steps millionaire. That's what happens when you go through financial peace. You work the plan, you do the stuff. This is how it works, boys and girls. This is how it works. This is the Ramsey Show. Christina Ellis, Ramsey personality #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jack is with us. Jack is in Des Moines, Iowa. Hi, Jack. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
So I got a little bit of an emergency going on. I just got told that my furnace is unrepairable. Well, it can be repaired, but the cost of it would be as much as a new one. And I'm on baby step 2. I got my $1,000 emergency fund, and I just wanted to get a little bit of advice on how to approach this. Is it okay to borrow for the difference to buy a new furnace? Because winter's around the corner. And I just know I should ask you, because you'll tell me what to do.
Okay. I'll definitely tell you what to do. I'm always good at that.
He'll also tell you what not to do.
So,
Yeah.
how old are you?
23.
And are you married?
No.
Okay. How old is the house?
80-ish.
How old is the furnace?
31 years.
Okay. Well, the heating and air business has two types of people in it, honest and dishonest. And one of the techniques that is often used in the heating and air business is they come out to inspect your repair with the sole goal of replacing your furnace. And I don't know which one you've gotten a hold of here. It sounds like your furnace is ancient. And I also know that the price range of getting things fixed and or replaced will vary dramatically depending on who you talk to in the business. Okay. You're 23 years old and you're broke. You do not need to make a furnace investment here. You just simply need heat. So the cheapest methodology for you to have heat this winter is what I'm after. Okay. So what that tells me is you need to talk to 2 or 3 more heating and air people. And what I would love for you to find is a small-time heating and air person that some of your parents' friends know, or something like that has maybe one truck. And maybe he's going to come over because he's not going to be retail, and he's going to help you figure out a way to put a little duct tape on this and get the thing going, right? Because that's really what we're trying to do. All right, we're trying to not put $5,000 that you don't have into this.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I know I know what's wrong with it. The control board was bad on it. But he got a new one put in. But then he started testing the other stuff, and it still wasn't firing. Well, he is assuming that because the pressure switch isn't activating, that the exchanger is clogged and it's behind everything. He told me it was just going to be labor intensive, and to get it unclogged, you have to unhook everything. Mm-hmm. And then he said,
so what's the quote? What's the quote?
About $4,000
to fix it.
Yeah, to fix it.
That's a lot of labor to unclog an extension. No.
The exchanger.
I'm going to rest my case here. I'm going to say you need to get somebody else to look at this and get another opinion, or 2 or 3, because the option you have on the table sucks. Even if it's accurate, it's a bad option because you don't have $4,000, and I'm not going to tell you to borrow the money. So I went through this exact same thing. I was 28 years old and going through bankruptcy, and they came out, and the guy threatened to turn it over to the gas company and turn it off because it was dangerous, which I found out later was a complete lie and was a technique to get me to buy a furnace from him. I threw him out of my house and ended up getting the thing fixed for $350 from another guy. It wasn't fixed well. It didn't last 5 years for that, but it made it through the winter. And I was too broke to do otherwise. I later had to buy a furnace.
That's all I need to do.
Yeah, I later had to buy a furnace. But what I want you to do is to patch cheap to get through 1 year until you can get some money saved up, and then we'll talk about what we do with an 80-year-old furnace in an 80-year-old or 31-year-old furnace in an 80-year-old house, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not saying this guy's a crook. I'm saying that there really is guys in the business that their deal is to just come over and go, whoop, you got to have a new one. And it's really, their repairs are a loss leader for sales of a furnace is what they're after.
Gotcha.
And I'm not saying this guy's that guy, and I'm not saying all big retail with 27 trucks do that. There's a lot of those guys are great guys. I endorse them in a whole bunch of cities. And so, but what you're looking for is the broke 23-year-old, help me please, because I'm dying here, get through the winter.
Okay.
And I got $1,000.
Thank you for calming me down.
Yeah, and I got $1,000.
Yeah.
And so you got a little time before you're going to freeze to death here. So well, you're in Des Moines, so it's going to happen faster than it does to us in Tennessee. But you know, you haven't got 3 months to fix this, but you do have a couple weeks, and you can take your time and shop around and.
Well, Dave, let's say hypothetically speaking, somebody's listening and their AC actually went out, like can't be repaired, and
AC is different.
Sorry,
than
heating.
Okay.
Heating.
All right.
Technical.
AC, I'll tell you, buy a fan. Shut up. You can get those for $12.95 at Walmart.
Right.
But all right.
So their heat goes out.
Yeah.
And they have $1,000 emergency fund. Baby step 2. What would you tell them?
I'm going to find a way to heat the house for the money that I have.
Okay. Don't replace it. Just.
I am not going to spend $3,000. I'm not going into debt. I quit borrowing money. And the thing is this. Here's what's interesting. When you draw a line in the sand and you say, it's like we talk about with you with student loans, with the students. We're talking student loans. When you take debt off the table, you find other ways to do it.
Right. Maybe there's something you can sell. Maybe there's an extra job you can pick up. I mean, you may not get.
That's two really good things I didn't even bring up. Have a huge garage sale this weekend.
Right.
And sell everything in sight. Sell all the stuff. I mean, what's more important to you than heat? Not much.
Right.
Food and heat. Those are two biggies. And so, what have I got that I can get rid of? Well, I got this old car that's an extra car. I was kind of going to work. Yeah, it's gone. Got to have heat.
Yeah, and maybe the next 4 weekends, you're just working 14 hours a day.
Nonstop. Or the next, 3 weeks you're working 90 hours a week, just Ubering your little butt off, And you can find some money. You're right. I should have brought both those things up. That's really good input. I got sidetracked with the heat and air business there for a minute. But yeah, that's... Yeah, extra work, garage sales, sell stuff, Craigslist, whatever. I mean, anything you can do to get you some money.
Because Murphy can still hit in baby step 2. And it's like you just got to get really strategic and be willing to hustle.
Yeah. I mean, we did all kinds of stuff when we were broke, Sharon and I, and we had no money at all. Mm-hmm. None. And, we just had to figure out a way to survive and piece something together and barely fix something until we had the money. I mean, we put this tar stuff on the roof where it was leaking, and it looked like white trash. I mean, but instead of like shingles up there, it was all smeared, but it quit leaking. And I didn't have $6,000 to put a roof on the house. A year later, I put a roof on the house with $6,000, but I didn't have $6,000 right then. And it's dripping through the fixture onto the kitchen table. We had to do something. So, and we're not borrowing money. We were through borrowing money, because until you're through borrowing money, everyone in America solves all their problems by running out and borrowing money. And you just have to take it off the table and say, this is not an option. Once you break that bone, you will never go back. You will never go back.
It's amazing when debt is completely off the table. Then you find these creative solutions. When that is not an option, you will be willing to do things like a patch job. You'll be willing to work 90 hours for the next few weeks because it's not an option. You have no other choice.
To community college for the first 2 years because it's free. And all those credits transfer to the state school, and you go to in-state tuition, and you work your butt off, and you save up, and you pay cash, and then you don't graduate with $97,000 in student loan debt with a degree in left-handed puppetry or polka history. and then wonder why you can't get a job and you're up to your eyeballs in debt hoping Biden is going to save your little butt, and it just doesn't work that way. So you just got to think different. You've got to have a sense of hustle and grind, a sense of personal dignity and responsibility. And Jack's a cool guy. I mean, he's 23 years old. He's asking this question. You know what that means? That means he's got the rest of his life to be smart, Jack.
Yes.
This is very cool. It's very cool that he's 23 and asking this question. Very, very, very well done. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Christina Ellis, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. We're taking your calls if you are a millionaire. This is a Baby Steps Millionaire theme hour. We are going to be talking only with millionaires. Regardless of how you became one, we want to hear your story. Now, let's be very careful to define it because some people don't know the definition of millionaires, including people who think they do. A millionaire is someone who has a $1 million or greater net worth. Your net worth is defined, it is an accounting term, as your assets minus your liabilities. What you own minus what you owe equals your net worth. If you're a cash millionaire, it means you have at least $1 million in cash. Okay? But if you have a house, if you have retirement, if you have whatever, the things that you own added up minus what you owe, if it equals $1 million or more, you are a millionaire. And we want to talk to you because we want to teach America what millionaires really look like, not what idiots on news shows with political agendas think a millionaire is. I heard some congressman, a U.S. congressman the other day goes, well, he's not a millionaire. He doesn't make $1 million a year. That's not what a millionaire is, you doofus. It's not an income measure. It's net worth. How do you get into the U.S. Congress and be this stupid? Oh, there's a lot of ways. Okay.
Or TikTok. Lots of TikTok millionaires right now.
Lots of TikTok millionaires. They don't even know what a millionaire is. TikTok doesn't know what anything is. So anyway, check it out. If you're a real millionaire, we want to talk to real people, not your broke brother-in-law's opinion. I don't want to hear about your politics or what you wish things were or your whining. I want to talk to real millionaires and learn how you really did it so that our audience knows what it looks like, what it feels like, and what the process is. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Jason and Shannon are starting our Baby Steps Millionaire theme hour off. Well, hey, guys, what's your net worth?
Hey, Dave. Glad to be on the show. We're at 3.5.
Good for you.
Ooh.
Well done. Nice job. Okay, give me a little breakdown on that by category. How much in each category?
Yeah, so our home is about 1.4. Got a business worth about 1.6. Roughly 150 in our 401k. About 400 in cash.
Very good. Well done. How old are you guys?
44.
Okay.
45.
Very good. What kind of business have you got?
Sandwich shop.
Oh, very good. Good for you. Fun. So how much of your $3.5 million did you inherit?
0.
None.
0. Okay. Well, you did this really early. What's been your best year of working income and your worst year of working income?
Early on was probably pretty rough. We'd be household income under 50, I would guess, out of college.
Yep.
And last year, close to 400.
Very good. Good for you guys. Well done. Okay, so your career is you're a small business owner, a sandwich shop, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you have degrees?
Carpentry degree for myself.
For me, sales and marketing.
Okay, all right. And what were your? You got a carpentry degree, so like an apprenticeship or a technical school or what?
Yeah, essentially technical school. Took a couple years of generals and just finished with the technical college. Built a business there, doing some remodeling, and then made the jump into a franchisee and small business owner. As far as that goes, so built a couple different locations and sold a couple, and now glad to be debt free also.
Yeah, very good. So, what was your GPA back when you were in school?
Books.
Mine was that. I had the same one you had.
Yeah.
That's not the strength.
That's a good answer.
So 3.0 or less?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm going with that. I love it. Okay. So I got a 24-year-old version of you listening right now, and I do. Out of 22 million people out there, I'm sure I've got a 24-year-old version of you listening. Talk to that person. A, can this still be done in America today?
Yeah, I would say to the 24-year-old, 100%, it can be done. The biggest piece is just hard work and continuing to get up each day and to go out and do it. I know you mentioned killing something, dragging it home. I mean, that's just what has to be done, especially those early days, looking back on what it took to get businesses going and to even have an asset to be able to sell. There was a lot of work, a lot of grinding. I had multiple people come up and say, we were going to do this. We thought of doing this, as customers. And it just, you got to kind of get off the fence and do it. So it took a lot, but very thankful and humbled where we're at now.
That's amazing. And getting to 3.5 million, that is no accident. I'm sure you have a lot that's happened in your journey. What would you say is the biggest challenge you had along the way?
We're actually scheduled to come and do our debt-free scream in December. So maybe I'll go a little more in depth then. But the biggest challenge was actually getting on the side with SBA and just going a route with another business partner and digging a hole a little too deep, and then realizing what does it take to get out of the partnership and to get on solid ground and to eliminate debt, essentially.
Yeah, get rid of partners, get rid of debt. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then that gives you some peace of mind here at 44 years old with the whole stinking thing paid for. Beautiful.
That's right.
Beautiful. Well done. Go ahead.
Did y'all set out to be millionaires, or did you follow like it with intention? Did you plan? Did you fight for it? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
A lot of the net worth piece too comes into that carpentry background. I was able to get my hands dirty, build some homes for us, but ultimately we have 4 children. Oldest is 20 now, so he's really close to the 24-year-old that we'd be talking to. My wife wanted to stay home with kids, and to not have her at work took a bigger step for me to move family and to get into something different and to really have to stretch as to what to do next. And then there was some growth opportunity, and we continue to pursue that.
I'm convinced today with all the whining that's going on out there and the carrying on that, quiet quitting and my goal is mediocrity, and I sure want the government to have universal income so I don't have to work and I can just sit and play Game Boy all day long or whatever it is, Call of Duty or whatever. And I'm convinced with all of that someone that's just willing to work as hard as you have worked has an inordinate advantage in America today.
Completely agree. Agree. I still run a business, still employ a lot of that demographic of the 16 to 25-year-olds, and I deal with it every day.
Yeah, there's some studs in that age group, but there's some duds in that age group too. Yeah, just like there is in every age group, by the way. There's some duds in my age group too. Most of them are still smoking pot at 65 years old. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com.
It's a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. Christina Ellis, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. We're talking to real millionaires, asking them how they did it, hoping that you might take a cue and knowing that you can do it. Let me tell you, no one accidentally becomes wealthy. No one accidentally becomes healthy. No one accidentally takes care of their marriage. And raising great children is never an accident. Successful living is always an act of intentionality and a level of intensity and a level of work that other people won't do. That's why we recognize successful people and we say, wow, there's a bar set there. Wow, this is worth doing. Wow, I want a marriage that looks like that. Wow, I want kids that turn out like that. Wow. And then you immediately, if you're smart, you ask, how'd you do that? And that's what we're doing this hour. It's a Baby Steps Millionaire theme hour. It's not an accident to win, America. If you want to be somebody, you got to light your butt on fire. You got to get with it. Winning is not an accident, nor is it anything to be ashamed of. And any of your friends who happen to be left-wing socialists, remind them of that. Winning is still a good thing because it always involves people getting lifted, people getting helped, people getting better. So light your butt on fire and go be somebody. That's what this hour is about. Adam and Ashley are with us in Oklahoma City. What's you guys' net worth?
Hey, Dave. Our net worth is just over $1 million.
So you just did it. Awesomeness. Give me a little breakdown on that. What's the categories?
Yeah, so our retirement, between retirement accounts and savings accounts, we have about $700,000.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a rental property that's paid off and worth about $130,000.
Mm-hmm.
Our primary residence is also paid for. That's worth about $180,000.
Okay.
And then we've got a couple of vehicles that are paid for that combined are worth about $55,000.
Cool. And how old are you guys?
I'm 35, and my wife Ashley here is 33.
Okay, very cool. Young millionaires. So you're just getting there. Very good. How much of this did you inherit?
Zero.
Way to go. Cool. And your best year of working income and your worst year of working income since you became adults?
Our worst year, well, we started this journey about a decade ago, and we were making about $80,000 at that time. And then last year would have been our best year. We made just over $200,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I work in insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a teacher.
Awesomeness. Yeah, teacher, the number 3 most likely category of career to become a millionaire. Pretty cool. All right. And so your degrees, I assume yours was in teaching.
Correct. Actually, special education.
In special ed. Okay. And what about yours, Adam?
I have a business degree.
Of course. Okay. And what were your GPAs?
Mine was probably about 3.2, 3.3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say maybe 3.5.
Yep. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Now, let's see. Did I get my wires crossed, or did you guys do a debt-free scream?
We did. So I mentioned that we kind of started this journey, frankly, unknowingly, but about a decade ago. So we got married in 2012, in September of 2012, and
23 and 25 years old.
Yep. And we were fortunate enough to not have any debt coming into the marriage, and so we had bought a house together, and we looked at each other and we just said, "Hey, I think we can get this thing paid off." And obviously we knew about you at the time. And about 3 months into our marriage, we actually went through FPU, which that just kind of lit the fire. And that's when we went, Gazelle intense. And within 24 months is when we paid off our primary residence at that time. And so we did the debt-free scream. I think it was technically 2015. It was about 3 months after we paid the house off is when we came up and did the debt-free scream.
Wow. So you've done the whole thing. Financial Peace University, debt-free scream, and now Baby Steps Millionaires Theme Hour. You've done the whole deal, buddy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And we're actually currently right now teaching FPU.
Oh, thank you.
We're giving back. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I love that. Y'all are truly Baby Steps millionaires. You have done the plan from the very beginning and have just crushed it. I'm curious now, since y'all started so young, right after you got married, early 20s, is there anything you would have done different? What would you tell your 25-year-old self?
It's hard to say that when we're sitting here having this conversation, frankly, from a financial perspective.
I know y'all pretty much have nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there were some sacrifices along the way. It's not easy. Like you said, it's a baby step process. It's been, like I said, 10 years in the making. So it's some days are longer than others, but at the same time, you wake up and here we are, we have $1 million net worth. And I think it's just taking it one day at a time, staying focused.
How does that feel? Is it like, do you own it emotionally, or does it feel a little bit surreal, like it's happening to someone else?
Surreal, honestly. We didn't even realize that we had hit this accomplishment. I walked into the bedroom one night, and my husband, of course, is doing numbers. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm trying to figure out what we're worth." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "I don't know. I haven't done it in a while." And then he looked up at me and he goes, "Babe, we're worth $1 million."
Babe, you're a millionaire.
Exactly.
I was like, "Stop,
I like it.
No way."
I like it. That's fun.
I think y'all are walking proof for any young people listening who are picking up Financial Peace University, who are looking at Baby Steps Millionaire. It's going, wow, man, millionaires are 40-year-olds. They're 50-year-olds. No, you can see this 33 and this 35-year-old who started in their early 20s, and here they are. They are millionaires. They just followed the plan and did it.
Married 10 years, and 7 years ago did the debt-free scream house and everything. And so you 25-year-olds out there listening, this is you. If you'll just bother and do it and quit believing the lies that are floating around the culture out there that the little man can't get ahead because you guys inherited zero. No one did this for you. No one gave you this. This is not a government grant. This is you did it. So fabulous. We're so proud of you guys. Very, very, very well done.
I think there's a lot of myths right now running around Gen Z and my generation that, we can't be millionaires because, it's the cards are stacked against us. It's different now. And I love hearing this story. I love seeing young people win on this show because we can't believe that lie. It can still happen for this generation today.
Those lies, that mythology, the biggest danger of it is it steals people's hope. And hope stealers are people I want to kick their butt, So people that perpetuate those kinds of lies are ones that need their butts kicked because it's a lie. And some people don't knowingly, they're not like, I'm trying to screw up people's lives, but you are. So you need to shut your negative mouth because you don't know what the flip you're talking about. So this is one of the reasons I wrote Baby Steps Millionaires. Was in response, and so I come at it from a spiritual perspective, a math perspective, an investment perspective, stories of real people that did it, and that's why the book is my 8th number one bestseller. But it all came out of starting to do this hour because I kept hearing those same exact myths those hope stealers are putting out there that, well, there's systemic problems with the economy, with wealth inequality, and you really don't want to get your theology from TikTok. It's a bad idea. You don't want to get your life game from that. So you need to actually talk to real people that are winning out there and go, wait a minute, the math says that Adam and Ashley did this in 10 years.
And it didn't just come from an inheritance. It didn't come because they make $600,000 a year. It's somebody who works in insurance, and it's a teacher.
Yep.
And they just had the discipline to stick with the plan and do it consistently over 10 years.
And the other guy was a carpenter who bought a sandwich shop, and then another one, and then sold one of them to get rid of a partner. Made mistakes, but still. I mean, there's no magic here, boys and girls. There's just doing it. And that's why we do this theme hour, to give you hope and also to rub the lefties' nose in the fact that America's not so broken you can't win anymore. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, I want to share something exciting our team has been working on for well over a year. We've built a brand new debit card that helps you spend and save the Ramsey way. It's called Gazelle. The Gazelle debit card works the same as your standard debit card with the same FDIC protections provided by our bank partner, Pathward, NA, member FDIC. With Gazelle, your privacy is important. We won't sell your personal information, which means you won't have debt pushed on you. Imagine not having an inbox full of credit card offers coming at you every week. The Gazelle debit card eliminates these distractions and helps you attack your money goals fast. Plus, it offers benefits others don't, like no monthly fees and a seamless connection with every dollar. And did I mention we won't push debt on you? Guys, your money is your money. You work hard. You're Gazelle intense. And now your debit card is too. Get the Gazelle debit card and take control of your money for good. Go to RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle to sign up. That's RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle.
Christina Ellis Ramsey, personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today as we answer your questions. This hour is a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. We started this hour because, as Christina was saying in the last segment, Gen Z, but also every generation for that matter, has believed lies about millionaires, that they inherited their wealth, that all rich people are evil and they're crooks. The way to become wealthy is rip people off. Some people believe that. I remember hearing that growing up a lot. That most rich people, the most likely way to become rich is you have to be famous. You have to be like an NBA star, a Major League Baseball star, an NFL star, a country music star, Beyonce, Kanye. You got to be that, or God help you, the Kardashians, right? In order to be a millionaire. Rachel on her podcast the other day blew me away. Kim K's net worth is $1.8 billion with a B. Wow. That's 180,000 million.
Blows my mind.
Yeah, pretty wild. So it's worked out for her. But as far as the financial part, anyway, oh man. Anyway, I got sidetracked. But yeah, so you don't have to, but do you have to be famous to be millionaires? And the other thing that people believe is, and this one's a little lesser of a myth, but that the only people that become millionaires are the super geniuses. The 4.2 like you, GPAs, right? That was your GPA, right?
No.
What was your GPA?
3.8.
3.8? I thought you were like a
3.85.
Yeah, because you're you're one of the smarter people in the building. I mean, your intellect. So I figure I'm a little surprised it's that low, honestly.
Oh, gee, thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, part of my message is that you don't have to be a perfect student to win scholarship.
I know.
Right?
But you, no, wait a minute. Your grad work, you jacked
I did in grad school, yes.
All right. When you got to grad school, you leaned into it. Then.
Once I got to college, I figured it out.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, the average millionaire does not have a GPA above 3.5. Okay. Very few of them have a 1.5. Turns out you do need some gray matter to pull this off, and you need to do something when you're in college other than beer pong. But yeah, there's that. But this idea that you have to be brilliant, or you have to steal from people, or you have to be famous, or you have to inherit it is the only way to get money. Those are all lies. Statistically, they're lies. Factual studies, including the Ramsey research on millionaires, the largest study of millionaires ever done, indicates that all four of those things are absolute lies. And when people believe lies and they act on lies, meaning, well, I can't be a millionaire, I didn't inherit it, I don't have a rich uncle. Shut up, Dave Ramsey. Shut up, Dave Ramsey. You can't do that. You know, I'm going to get rich on my airline miles. I'm going to run up my credit cards and get airline miles. You know, people, when you believe stupid stuff, you do stupid stuff. When you believe lies, you live a life that's full of disasters.
Well, and there's so many lies now out there. It's like there's so many people trying to get rich quick. There's so many people with TikTok stories and Bitcoin stories and all these different things that it's tempting to fall into that trap.
Yeah. But the number of, by the way, as you study millionaires and even decamillionaires, people with $10 million, the number of them that are famous is less than 0.1% of the rich people.
Wow.
In other words, 99.9% of the rich people, you never heard of them. There you go.
There you go.
I mean, that's.
They're not
so
the kind.
You don't have to go do something stupid to get on a reality show to be rich. You could just work.
Yeah, good old-fashioned work.
Be a teacher, be an engineer, be an accountant. That's the top three categories of people who became millionaires in our study, by the way. Stephanie is in Green Bay. Stephanie, what's your net worth?
Just over $1 million.
Good for you. Well done. Give me a little breakdown on that.
Our home is worth $750,000. We do have a little bit of a mortgage on that yet. $450,000 in retirement accounts, $30,000 in college savings, and $50,000 in savings and other cash.
Great job. How old are you?
34.
Good. How much of this did you inherit?
0.
All right. And best year working income as an adult, worst year working income as an adult?
We started out making about $100,000, and now we're north of $300,000.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
I'm an actuary, and my husband is a physical therapist.
Okay. So I assume his degree is a PT, right?
Correct.
And yours business or finance or accounting?
Math, yep.
Business, okay. What was your GPA?
We were both at 3.3.
Okay, there you go. I just made my case again. All right, cool. All right, way to go. And you're only 34 years old. You're baby millionaires. Excellent. You're going to be so rich by the time you're old. Oh, my gosh.
That's the plan.
So how did you do this? What do you attribute this to?
We encountered your teachings about 7 years ago and just followed the plan. Pretty boring.
So you're baby steps millionaires then?
Yep.
Following the baby steps. House is not even quite paid off.
Yep.
So you're still in 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
How much do you owe on the house?
$250.
Okay. Yeah, you got a little ways to go then. Good. Okay. Well done. Very well done.
I love that you started 7 years ago. That, again, goes back to that case that a 20-year-old starting. Somebody in their 20s just doing the plan 7 years. Look at you now. Baby steps millionaire. That's
what
incredible.
Advice do you have for a 24-year-old 10 years younger than you?
Take it slow and steady. I know you guys were talking about the TikToks and the Bitcoins. Get rich quick, and it just doesn't work that way. The slow and steady. Scrutinize the needs versus your wants. And if you are married, be in lockstep with your spouse. It's all that's what you need.
Yeah, big time. So are you guys boring, or do you have a life?
We think we have a life. Yep. We have 3 kids, so they keep us pretty busy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a life right there in and of itself. But I mean, you don't never go out to eat. You don't live in a cave and collect lint. You're not like weird.
No. We're pretty normal.
Yeah.
Go on vacation with our family. Go out to eat once in a while. Nothing extravagant.
Yeah.
But
both have worked your careers, and you both have degrees with 3.3 GPA. And you just leaned in for a decade or 7 years ago. You started with Financial Peace University, and here you are. Well done. I'm very proud of you. Good work.
Thank you.
It's incredible.
Excellent. Heroes. Well done. Gary is in Denver. Hey, Gary, what's your net worth?
$3.3 million, Dave.
Cool. Give me a little breakdown on that.
We've got $300,000 in savings and brokerage, 1.1 in retirement accounts, and 1.9 in 4 different real estate properties equity.
Awesome. Okay. Not all paid off then?
None of them are paid off, unfortunately.
None of them. Okay. All right. That's why you said equity. I was picking up on that. All right. How old are you?
Yep. I'm 54 and my wife's 49.
Excellent. How much of this did you inherit?
0.
Okay. And your best year working lifetime as an adult, best year income and worst year income as an adult?
Best household year was $750, believe it or not, and our worst was $46,000.
Okay, cool. What do y'all do for a living?
We're both in sales management. We're both sales leaders.
Okay. Well, you did well then. Excellent. That 750 is a nice year. When was that?
About 4 years ago. Yeah, okay. one year. Everything just popped that 1 year.
Yeah, before the pandemic. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you got 4-year degrees?
My wife and I both do. Mine's in accounting, and my wife's is in marketing.
Okay. And your GPAs?
I got to laugh. I'm going to make your case. If you round up, my GPA was a 2.8.
Okay.
And my wife's was a 3.1.
Ah, you married up. Good for you. I love it. Well done. Yeah. What do you attribute having this fabulous net worth to, having inherited no money at 54 years old?
There's a lot of things, Dave. The budget, listening to you guys, just being diligent, intentional. But, Dave, the one thing for me, and I don't know how to put a finger on it, but there was some point in time, I think it came from my wife, where I just realized I like having money more than I like having stuff. It's just, there's more fun that way. I don't know.
You wanted to invest rather than consume. That's a really good line right there. Well done, sir. Well done. It's a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour with Christina Ellis. This is The Ramsey Show. It's a Baby Steps Millionaires theme hour. There's a lot of ways to become a millionaire. You can follow a lot of plans. You don't have to have followed our plan to get there, nor do you have to have followed our plan to be on the show and tell your baby steps story. We did have one guy call in one time who had inherited $1 million last year. His parents died, left him $1 million. That's how he got it. Okay, it's unusual statistically. But we want to put him on. We had one gal call in that hit the lottery, but again, that's statistically rare. Very unusual. It's not a method that you can use to become wealthy, but it did happen, and so we put it on. So today we've had a lot of people say they went through Financial Peace University. Did their debt-free scream here 7 years ago. So if you want to know about this and you want to get out of debt so that you can build wealth, so that you can change your family tree, so that you can be outrageously generous to your community, Financial Peace University will show you how to do that. We've helped over 10 million families learn how to handle money properly. And it's the most prolific personal finance class in America today. More people have been through it than any other finance class out there. and it's the most successful by far. That's why more people have been through it. It's a proven plan. If you've not been through Financial Peace University, just go to RamseySolutions.com/FPU and get signed up. It's very easy to do. It's 9 lessons, and we're going to walk you right through it. And we'll show you exactly what to do. And it just works. It's the stuff about money that you always wondered. You didn't know about insurance. You got screwed. You didn't know about real estate, and you got the wrong kind of loan. You didn't know about getting out of debt. You thought you could borrow your way out, so you got a debt consolidation loan. You got conned. And we get screwed because we don't know, or we don't take action because we don't know and we don't believe. And this will give you a proven plan, and you'll feel the progress, and you'll get yourself out of debt and put yourself in a position to be generous to your family and to others, which is really what money is all about at the end of the day. So it's a Millionaire theme hour. Baby Steps Millionaires. We're talking to Marilyn next. She's in Atlanta. Hi, Marilyn. What's your net worth?
$2.7 million.
Very cool. And give me a little breakdown by category.
We have, it's my husband and myself, we have 1.3 in our 401ks, 487 in an IRA, 200 in cash, and 785 in paid off real estate.
Awesome. Well done. How old are you?
54.
54, 54?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Making sure I heard you correctly. And how much of this did you inherit?
Absolutely nothing.
0. Okay. Your best year of working income as adults, your worst year?
Our worst year was probably when we started out in the late 80s at around 25,000 combined, and then our best years are right now, and we average from 250 to 290.
Okay, cool. What do y'all do for a living?
We are both in healthcare. Started out as RNs and kind of worked our way up through into management. So
okay, start as nurses, and then you're in management and healthcare from that. All
yes.
Right. Degrees in nursing, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
In business. I have one in business. We both have one in nursing. I have one in business.
Okay. GPAs?
Mine was a little bit better than his, around 3.5. His was probably around a 2.28 to a 3. So
around a 2.8. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, nursing is a wonderful career, especially today, because there's a shortage like never before. Post-COVID, post-jab, the number of people that left the business is unbelievable, as you know,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Right,
and so there's a shortage of teachers, policemen, and nurses right now in America like never before. And so it's a fabulous career field to get in. You can kind of name your deal right now, can't you?
Yes, you sure can. You sure can.
It's very unusual. I don't know how many times I've run into somebody that used nursing to go all the way into management, though. That's unusual. What made you guys decide to do that?
It was moving from a hospital environment, taking a chance, and going to an industrial environment. And then just going into management into corporations.
I see. Okay, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But with nursing, you can do anything. So it's a great career.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, when I was 34, I was driving through Jackson, Mississippi, and we were like everyone else, car payments, credit card payments, house payments, all those things, and young children. And I was listening to the radio and heard some madman screaming on the radio about me and my money management. And so I listened all the way from there back to Atlanta, and I got hooked. And so took it home to my husband. We got hooked at age 34. And we've taught FPU in our church and in our work, and so it's just been a great thing. And I just want to thank you for taking your pains and your problems, your mistakes, and using those to invest in other people to help them. So,
well, thank you. Yeah, that's 20 years ago. I was still the madman then. It's not gotten any better. It's not gotten any better. It's just gotten crazier. So that's fine. You're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We appreciate you, Marilyn.
What would you tell? What would you tell that 34-year-old version of you that was going down the highway, struggling, credit card debt, all of that, and now you're a millionaire? What would you tell that girl?
I would tell them to start saving earlier, live off less than they make, and we've always been faithful to give and save. Since we've discovered Dave, we give and we save until it hurts, and that's just kind of part of what we do now.
Live like no one else.
That's a good word. Give and save until it hurts. Can't mess up with those two. You really can't mess that up. That's a pretty good formula right there. All right, so we've got a sandwich shop owner, a teacher, an insurance broker, an actuarial, a physical therapist, a couple of sales managers, and a couple of RNs that went into management. 3.5 net worth, 1 million net worth, 1 million net worth, 3.3 and 2.7 million net worth, 44, 33, 34, 54, 54. No 87-year-olds and no 22-year-olds. Notice the trend, okay? It takes a little time. The tortoise wins the race, not the hare. Get rich quick doesn't work. But this idea that you can't become wealthy early enough in life to have a good life and enjoy your life is ridiculous. I'm YOLO. You only live once. Thank God it's Friday. Oh, God, it's Monday. No, you're a child. Children do what feels good. Adults devise a plan and follow it. We've been talking to adults this hour. Grown-ups. People with spiritual and emotional maturity and the ability to delay pleasure for a greater good. The changing of their family trees. And these are the people that become millionaires, Christina.
Yep, and a lot of them are young adults. I think a lot of people think, though...
34 and 33 were two of them.
Right, exactly. A lot of 25-year-olds aren't willing to join onto this journey because they think it's going to take 30 years. But it's like these people are walking proof. It took them 7 years in one case, 10 years in another, and it's like they were just willing to be consistent, follow a plan, and be patient. But they don't have to be patient for 30, 40 years.
In our study, it was 12 to 17 years from the time you lean in, start working the baby steps, and do the stuff seriously. 12 to 17 years to go from zero to $1 million net worth.
And that is worth it.
That's what we found. It wasn't 34 years. Now, some people took 34. I'm talking about averages. I mean, you can drag it out. But with normal incomes and normal raises and just not doing normal stuff, there's no new cars in the plan. There's no car leasing in the plan. There's no trips around the world when you make $36,000 a year. And I'm gonna quiet quit. I'm not gonna work very hard. Those people aren't in there. They're not in there. They're not in this. They don't show up because they don't make it. They don't make it. They get run over by life.
Right. But on the flip side of that, you talked to that one of the callers, and she said they weren't weird about it, though. They weren't on ramen noodles for the entire journey to becoming a millionaire.
No, they already get out of debt the first time and then start working their baby steps properly from there. That's what they do. And so the average millionaire is not a crook. So when somebody says that, call them a liar. The average millionaire is not an entertainer and a famous person. Tell them they're a liar. 89% of millionaires inherited precisely not enough to become millionaires. They're not millionaires because of inherited money. We did not talk to a single person today that inherited a dime. Not one. So the next time some lefty says that, just tell them they're wrong. This is The Ramsey Show.
Have you been inspired to make a change with your money? Want to know where to start? Take our 3-minute money quiz to get a plan you can follow. Go to RamseySolutions.com and search for Get Started to get a plan for your money.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create real, amazing relationships. Christina Ellis, Ramsey personality, is #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Folks, if you like this show, would you help us out by doing 3 things? 1, subscribe to it on YouTube or podcast if you're doing that. Push the memory button on your radio. If you're a radio listener, make sure you've always got us tuned in. Second thing is, if you're in a situation like YouTube or podcast, leave a review, a 5-star, preferably. We don't really need any 1 stars. They're not helpful. And also share it with a friend. Tell people to listen. Tell people to tune in and tell them how to do it. Send, if you've got a YouTube or a podcast, generally they have a share function, and you can just push the share button and send a link to them and say, hey, listen to this. I did that with my friend Mike Rowe's podcast this week. I was listening to it, or last week, rather. I was listening to it and sent Ken Coleman, because it was all about jobs and stuff, as you might guess, with Mr. Dirty Jobs himself, right? So, good stuff. Hey, thanks for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. 888-825-5225. Bruce is with us, and Bruce is in Abilene, Texas. Hi, Bruce. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Dave, just want to say we loving all of you. You guys are great.
Thank you, Bruce. How can we help?
Well, I started a business in the first couple of years. I used a credit card, a debit card all the time. And I was having to break down anywhere from 180 to 220 transactions on my bank statement every month, and it was an accounting nightmare. Now, here's where I get in trouble. I got 5 credit cards for my LLC. One's for seal coat, one's for aggregate, one's for fuel, one's for asphalt, one's for supplies. There's always money in the bank, and they're all on auto pay, and it has taken all the accounting nightmare away. And is it possible to be an exception to the rule?
I don't understand why 5 debit cards wouldn't do exactly the same thing.
Well, because I've gotten a free iPhone. I get travel points.
No. You didn't tell me about free crap. You said accounting nightmare.
It is.
And you went to 5 credit cards. Why would 5 debit cards not do the exact same thing for your accounting?
On a debit card, could I have 5 different ones on one account?
Yeah. Yeah, they'd have different numbers on them. I've got 78 on one account. Ramsey Solutions runs on debit cards.
That goes to show me. Okay, well, I hear you, and I'll make the transition.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You can do whatever you want to do, Bruce. Obviously, you're not going broke from this if you're auto-paying them and you're not carrying any balances. But what I've had to learn to do was 2 things, and I became fanatical about it, and I think the fanaticism helped me. And that's why I'm going to continue selling it. Okay. The fanatical thing, number 1, I did was I figured out smart things that I could automate, and I put smart on auto, meaning like auto deduct from my paycheck going into a 401k, auto deduct from my checking account. In the early days when they very first started doing it, I was one of the first ones to do it, to pay my utilities always on time, and I always got the discount. Okay? Auto saving into kids' college coming out of my checking account. Auto saving going into the Roth IRA out of my checking account every month. So I did smart things on auto. That was the first thing I did. I automated smart. And the second thing I did was anything that looked like a snake, it could bite me, I don't play with it. And a credit card that is a snake, for sure, that can bite you, even though you're a pretty good snake charmer, you got them kind of tamed, you got them laying in 5 distinct buckets, and you've got them on auto pay and all that kind of stuff. You've at least smart did the auto pay. That was a smart move, but you still, you play with snakes long enough, you're going to get bit, and that's the problem. And so that's why I just don't have a credit card, and I haven't all these years. I don't want to accidentally end up in debt. It's just not going to happen. I know I don't owe anyone any money under any circumstances because I don't have any tools that I use in the financial world that can result in debt. It's impossible because I don't sign up. And so I stay away from things that I can accidentally get bit with, number 1. Number 2, I put smart on auto. And those 2 things take even, because I'm smart enough, I kept trying to outsmart all this crap and scheming and scamming, and it'll get you.
I think that's a lot of people's stories. I mean, most people who start out using credit cards, they don't think they're going to be the person $30,000 in debt.
No one does.
No one
takes it out and I got 10% off at Macy's and I got the discount. No one ever says, and I'm going to end up owing these bozos $3,000 for 400 years. No one says that. No one. They just go, I got 10% off. I got a free iPhone. You know, Bruce, I'll make fun of you, right? Okay, whatever, right? And so no one says, oh, God, look, I'm going to go. Let's go. I'm intentionally going to go. The average credit card right now is 22%.
Ouch.
With inflation, the banks helped you out. They went up. Okay? Ugh. Because they inflated the interest rate from 18. The average is 22%. So no one says, I'm going to intentionally go deeply in debt at 22% and then wonder why I'm broke. No one says that. You're right.
Everyone sees the points. They see the bonuses, and they think that they're going to be the ones that take advantage of the system. They beat the system. And yet, the system is still building skyscrapers. They're still taking people thousands of dollars in debt.
Yeah. Now, I do know people that have credit cards that pay them off every month, and they're not going to cause them to go bankrupt. But you are walking around with a very small rattlesnake in your pocket. And the small ones bite harder than the big ones, I hear. You know, so be careful.
They're sneaky.
Just be careful. Yeah,
You don't see them coming.
They don't hold back. They empty all their venom. And so, yeah, it's a problem. And so I don't, you know, I'm going to put a home equity line of credit on my home, but we're not going to draw on it, but it'll just be there in case. I need a bass boat in case I want to go to Disney World. In case, and yeah, your in case changes later, and then but you set yourself up. You were playing with snakes, and you put a financial thing in place that allows you to do that. And another one of these is overdraft protection. We're going to set up overdraft protection. You're never going to be an overdraft because it turns into a loan. And guess what? 100% of the time, that's going to turn into a loan. This is what happens with it.
Well,
but I'm being wise. I don't want to pay any overdraft fees. Well, here's an idea. Don't run your dadgum checking account down to zero and actually keep up with what money's in there. Duh. Why is this hard? It's not hard. But we rationalize our butts off out there. I do it too. Bruce has done it. I've done it. Christina's done it. We've all done it. The question is, what's the shortest, fastest, best path, most proven path to wealth? And it's not that. This is The Ramsey Show.
I say it all the time. If you're a business owner and you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And when markets are shifting, it's even more important. You've got to know where you stand so you make your next move the right move. And you don't have to be in the dark here. Over 31,000 businesses, including my team at Ramsey, know their numbers because they use Netsuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. Netsuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, planning, budgeting, and inventory so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Having everything in one place has saved my team hours each week since we made the switch to NetSuite. NetSuite is a game changer. So head on over to netsuite.com/Ramsey to get a product tour today. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Christina Ellis, #1 best-selling author, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Open phones here on The Ramsey Show. We're glad you're with us. It's launch week for our brand new Gazelle debit card. This is the coolest looking debit card ever, and it is the debit card that will help you spend and save the Ramsey way. We don't use credit cards here. The Gazelle debit card works the same as your standard debit card with the same FDIC protections. No fees. Some of these cards have more fees than a French poodle. Fee. And, you know, you just don't want to get signed up with that stuff. So, you got built-in accountability for your budget. It ties you directly into every dollar. the app. And so if you're doing your budgeting app, if you want to spend and save the Ramsey way, this is a brand new thing we just launched this week. We're very excited about it. No, we're not in the banking business. There's a bank that stands behind this product and is actually where your money is going. That's where the FDIC insurance comes from. The fraud protection comes from MasterCard, the same as with any good MasterCard debit card or Visa debit card for that matter. And so go to RamseySolutions.com/Gazelle to get started today. It's free to create an account. And Christina, the guys in the booth, James and such, Austin, suggested that we remind people that we teach in Financial Peace University, and we were just talking about it in the last segment. You don't carry a credit card. I don't carry a credit card. The Ramsey way is we don't have credit cards. Period. Okay? So part of following this proven plan is to not have a credit card. Here's what's really interesting and sad. 50% of the applications that come in to do a debt-free scream, one of the things we ask is, are you still using a credit card? 50% are saying yes. 100% of those that say yes do not get to do their debt-free scream. And a portion of those are pissed off because they're not following our plan, so they're not doing a debt-free scream here because we're not going to promote you're stupid. We want to promote smart here. That's what the debt-free scream is about. It's about a milestone, a goal that you achieved, and that you are following the Ramsey system, and you're out of debt, and you're staying out of debt, and you're not going to use a credit card. And so if you are using a credit card, don't even apply to do your debt-free scream because the answer will be no. We're not going to let you do it. And so you can get mad if you want to get mad. Go get your own show. Then you can do your own debt-free scream, you know. This one says Ramsey on it, and Ramsey don't do credit cards. So just helping the guys out in the booth because they get all the flack from you people that are mad at them. Well, I went and did all this trouble to get out of debt. Now you won't let me do my debt-free scream. That's because you're still stupid. That's why. And so just let you know where you stand on that. And we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Well, I don't think I'm stupid. That's good. That's fine. You go do your own. Just go stand in your driveway and scream, I'm debt-free. But you're not coming on here and do it. Okay?
Well, and the heart behind it is we want you to stay debt-free forever.
Hello.
Right. It's for your own good so that, you know, you eliminate that temptation so that you're not walking around with that rattlesnake in your pocket.
Exactly. All right, our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey, and you'll get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Tommy in California. In 2009, my mom took out a Parent Plus loan for me to go to college. I also took out $70,000 of student loans. She never made a payment towards them. In her mind, it was my loan under her name that I should pick up whatever I'm financially stable. Because my mom never paid, she now owes $100,000 and is begging me to take it back under my name. I just got a new job where I make $143,000. It's a huge jump from $30,000 to $40,000 I've made for several years, and I can finally make a dent in my own loans. She asks me every week or so, when are you taking your student loans back? Ouch. My mom is a nurse practitioner, but often complains that she is broke. She is currently paying off 2 luxury cars that she bought within 24 hours of each other, one for work, one for church. Okay.
Who has a church car?
A luxury church car.
I never had a church car. That's so great.
Loans that she borrowed from her 401k to purchase land and other credit cards. She says that her own student loans are such a burden that she had to stop paying her life insurance to afford the payments. Should I take the $100,000 back under my name since she feels like she was tricked into getting them? Whew. There is a lot.
Your mom is a freaking head case. Oh my God.
Man, there's a lot of sticky stuff right there.
You're a child and I'm an adult and I take out a loan in my name for you to go to college, but I got tricked.
And I'm still being irresponsible with my money.
So has this woman ever done anything wrong in her own eyes? She has a church car, for God's sakes. I'm going home and telling Sharon I need another car. I don't have a church car. I need another car. I knew I needed a car. I just didn't know what it was for. It's for church. Jeez, what in the world? That's weird.
Oh, man, and so much guilt and shame in that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you promised your mom when you were a child that if she took out these Parent Plus loans that you would pay them, and you pinky swear and spit shake at the kitchen table and you're 18 years old and you told her you would cover them, then you should cover them. But the story I just read, or that Christina just read, doesn't say that. It sounds like your mom did this. She was trying to help. She did a stupid thing, trying to do a good thing. And she's done a lot of stupid things in her life. You listed a whole bunch of them here. And now she wants to dump it on you. So here's what I would do. Number one, under no circumstances do you take it back under your name. Okay? Number two, if you choose to help her with it, you can help her by throwing grenades over the fence, throwing money over the fence, but we're not going to move the loan over into your name. Okay? Besides that, I'm not even positive you can pull that off with a Parent Plus loan. I think it's pretty well stuck in her name, and you're not qualified. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your stuff paid off. So no, you can't help her until you're debt-free. Then if you choose to help her at that point, here's how the conversation would be if it was me. You can do whatever you want to do. But it would be, Mom, you are really ridiculously dumb with money. I am willing to help you with you taking out this loan because it was for my benefit. But I'm not willing to do it all. And I'm not willing to do it while you're paying 2 car payments, including a church car. Just shoot me. I mean, that's just stupid, straight up stupid. And a nurse practitioner should be making a pile of money in California. You should be able to work your way through a lot of this stuff. So we're going to get rid of a bunch of cars. I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. You're going to get on a budget. You're going to go through Financial Peace University. And then every $1,000 you pay on that old Parent Plus loan, I'll put $1,000 on it.
Ooh, I like that.
If you pay nothing on it and you continue to stay out of control, I'm going to match that. Nothing. That's exactly, I'm going to put on exactly what you put on. And I'm going to help you get this out of control, under control, get your life back, coach you through a complete transformation because, darling, you need one. But, you know, this idea that somehow she is a victim, she's a victim of her own stupidity like all of us are. When I went bankrupt, you know whose fault it was? Dave's. It wasn't Ronald Reagan's. He was the president. It wasn't Jimmy Carter's. He was the president right before that. And both of them did some really stupid stuff, but neither one of them caused me to go bankrupt. It was Dave's fault. And it wasn't my dad's fault, and it wasn't my mom's fault, and it wasn't my dog's fault. It was my fault. So part of straightening up your dadgum life is taking responsibility for it.
Yeah, and I think this just also highlights what I think I've heard Rachel say, where it's like a lot of the student loan crisis is a parenting crisis. It's parents letting their kids go into debt. But if you're a parent who takes out a Parent Plus loan and then expects your kid to pay it off, that's a lot. That's rough.
Well, I mean, some parents do that and the kid says, okay, I'll promise. Well, then you made the promise. I'll stick you to your promise then. But he didn't do that.
But even if your kid says, I promise, at 18 years old, that is still a kid, like barely an adult, promising to pay that back. Like, as a parent, you should stop and say, are you really willing to make that promise? Do you understand what that promise means in the long run? Because that's a heavy promise to make at 18 years old.
It's like one of you parents co-signing for a 16-year-old to get a BMW. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You deserve the problems that are coming your way. You just signed up for stupid on steroids. This is The Ramsey Show. Christina Ellis, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Braden and Nadia are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi, we're great.
Dave. How you guys doing?
Good to have you. Where do you guys live?
We're from Scottsburg, Indiana, but we neighbor Louisville, Kentucky.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Welcome to Nashville. How much debt have you paid off?
$138,000.
All right. How long did this take?
4 years and 8 months.
Okay. And your range of income during that almost 5 years?
Started at $40,000, and then we worked it up to $160,000.
Yeah, we're about $160,000.
Woo! Nice jump. Well done. What do y'all do for a living?
I work at my family's used car dealership.
And I'm a hairstylist.
Very good. Very good. So what do you attribute this huge income increase over 5 years to?
I got pay raises over the next few years, and then Nadia, she began working.
Yeah. When we met, I had just finished hair school, but pretty much the last year I've doubled my income.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
So really just focusing on my career and to grow
like
that.
Both of you are in the zone. Yeah. Well done. What kind of debt was the $138,000?
About $10,000, $11,000 were my student loans, and then the rest was the mortgage.
Oh, you paid off your house?
Yes.
Look at it, weird people. I love it. Way to go, you guys. So what's this house worth?
The current market, probably somewhere around $240,000.
I love it. How old are you two?
I'm 30.
I'm 26.
I'd have paid for a house. $250,000, $250,000 paid for a house. Woo! Way to go. Woo! All right, tell us what happened. You started this young.
Yeah.
Y'all were baby children when you started this. Like 20 years old you started, right?
Yeah, we met when I just turned 21.
Okay, so what in the world? What made you plug into this whole Ramsey thing at that age?
To be honest, before I met her, I went to college and just went just to go. And then I ended up dropping out after a year. And then I kind of set up a goal after that I was going to buy a house and save up for a down payment from talking with my mom. And then I bought your book and I read it at the time, and it just kind of set a fire underneath me to start saving up for the next 4 years and just putting all my money towards a big down payment for a house.
Wow. Okay.
And then kind of fast forward, we met right after I graduated school. I had my student loans. I didn't have a job yet. And then he had already been searching for a house for a while. So a few months after we met, he bought the house and we both moved in. And, for the first couple of years, the income was about $40,000. And then I started working. But it was really just, we always had the long-term goal of paying it off early. He I don't think realized that we could do it as quickly. So we were on a walk during COVID and kind of locked down, and I was like, we can do this. And, maybe I think we said 4 or 5 years. But then that was kind of, I could control my income. So it was that driving force for me that I wanted to accelerate and just serve my clients and the people around me and use that as kind of the driving force to increase my income.
Wow.
That's amazing. I love that. And I love that you're so young. I love that you even saw your job as service. You're like, I can serve my clients better. And in that, use that money to propel us forward.
Exactly.
So what would you tell people is the key to getting out of debt?
The key, I think, is just being intentional with your money. And then if you're with someone, being transparent and making sure you have one goal and going for it.
Yeah. Which is amazing, especially as such a young couple. You guys are building such a strong foundation, not only financially, but with your conversations and in your marriage.
Yeah, early on. So when we moved into the house, I found the book just on a shelf or something, and I immediately read it because it clicked. It made sense to me immediately. So I was like, I used, the snowball effect to pay off my student loans, and then so early on we had those financial discussions and the money discussions. But I would say that just staying content through this whole time was a huge thing, because as our income increased, we easily could have justified to spend and spent a ton of money on our wedding. So we got married a year ago, and then combining our finances was the key. You cannot achieve any goal together if you're not doing it financially together in the same bank account and always talking about it. So because we did that, combined our income, the last year we paid off $80,000.
Whoa!
Of that. So
the lion's share of this in 1 year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we spent our first year of marriage. I would say we sacrificed a lot of time together, and we didn't take vacations, but it was because we could see the finish line.
Yeah, it's right there. I can touch it. I can smell it. I'm doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. How's it feel to be completely free?
It's great.
Feels amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it's just now starting to hit us. It's been a few months, but it's kind of wild just to think we're planning a trip next year.
Where are you going?
And we're going to Hawaii.
Yeah, good trip.
Yeah.
Very good.
Y'all have earned that.
Very good.
Who were your biggest cheerleaders?
My mom, she's a big saver and kind of goes with your principles and things. So she kind of lit a fire under me to do this. And then when I read your book, it was more your book explained why I was doing these things that she was kind of telling me to do beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say my parents as well. My mom, I remember years ago, my mom paid off her house and I just thought like, oh, wow, that's wild. And then so to me, it was always a tangible thing. But you have to believe it. If you don't believe you can achieve these goals, then it's never going to happen.
What do you think made you guys open to believing it? Because I think a lot of parents even hesitate to have these conversations with their kids because they think that, they're not interested. They're not going to believe it. But what was different about y'all?
I feel like I've grown up and always believed that, you set your mind to something and you can do it. And so setting small goals, and once you can see yourself achieving those goals, and then you can learn to apply those to some larger goals. But really learning to just kind of break it down. Because I remember we passed the 100,000 mark on the house, and it was just like, oh wow. And then we would celebrate kind of every 5,000, then 10,000, and then. But that's the motivating force is being able to visualize all that and track it is really important.
I think having faith in what you do in the beginning, that it's going to pay off later on. And then as you get closer to time, then it's going to light a fire underneath you to finish it. Kind of like the last year, we were so close. We just kept pouring more and more money towards it. But at first, you just kind of got to believe that it's going to work later on.
Well, and it makes you really question the things that you purchase and spend your money on. And it really makes you I'm good driving my $5,000 car. I'm now hesitant to think.
And he's got a whole lot of cars over there.
Exactly. So I don't even know. I'm like,
you don't have a church car?
No. But yeah, you just have to. You really start to reevaluate your entire life and what's important.
Especially in your 20s, because you've got friends that are probably having lavish weddings and driving fancy cars and just sitting in their student loan debt, not worried at all about paying it off. But not y'all.
My wedding dress cost less than $100, and I think I DIY'd and got things secondhand for our entire house, like all the furniture, everything. It was like I was building things myself, and we were going to Goodwill. We shopped at Goodwill for our clothes and furniture and everything for years.
Wow.
I love that.
And now you can do anything you want to do?
We can do anything, yes.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. You're going to be making a couple $100,000 a year real soon, and not a payment in the world. You're going to be baby steps millionaires in a heartbeat here.
That's the plan.
Well done. Very, very well done. Live like no one else. Now you can live and give like no one else.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Proud of you guys.
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Very well done. You're an impressive young couple. Very, very well done. Good stuff. Hey, we got a copy of the Total Money Makeover book for you. You can give that away like Mom gave it to you and get somebody started. Baby Steps Millionaires book, our latest #1 bestseller, and that'll, of course, be the next chapter in your story, a 1-year membership to Financial Peace University. If you hadn't been through it, go through it. If you have, then give it away. And all of this is the Live and Give bundle. It'll help you with both of those things. Very well done.
Thank you.
Braden and Nadia, Louisville, Kentucky area, $138,000 paid off in 4 years and 8 months. House and everything! Making 40 all the way to 160. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! Yeah! Gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Man, they're impressive.
So impressive.
This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Romans 8:38-39. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Corrie ten Boom says, God takes our sins, the past, present, and future, and dumps them in the sea and puts up a sign that says, no fishing allowed. You got to love that. So, Christina, there is quite a little stir going on, even among the Ramsey Baby Steppers community, about these I-bonds. We've got a couple of days if you want to put money into an I-bond and get 9.62% annual interest for Series I bonds. And so because the rate has gotten so high, it's gotten everybody's attention. Not everybody's attention, but people are buzzing about it. And so people are saying, Dave, what should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Well, let me tell you that how much money I have in I bonds and how much money I will be putting in I bonds. Precisely zero. Why is that? Well, 9.62 is the annualized interest rate for the first 6 months. After 6 months, it will drop to whatever the prevailing rate is at that time, and that has traditionally been down closer to 5%. Most people are thinking it's going to be about 6.5% beginning in November. So you're pretty sure it's going to drop at least to that after 6 months. And if you do not leave your I bond alone 5 years to cash it out early, you get charged 3 months of the interest. That would be 1/4 of the interest. And so if you average 6.5 and 9.5, you would get 8 3/4, something like that, or 8.5 roughly, and 7 and some change anyway. And then take 1/4 of that away. That's what you're going to be making, and even less because it's going to adjust down further later. So the problem is this: it's giving you way above average short-term interest rates, but it's not really a short-term interest product. It punishes you if you don't leave it alone long-term, and it's a lousy long-term product because I can make a lot more than 9.62 on average investing in good mutual funds. Stock market is average north of 11%. I've been investing in mutual funds for 40 years, and I've averaged way north of 12% on my mutual funds over that number of years, way better than 9.6. Oh, wait, it's not really 9.6. It's only 9.6 for 6 months. Oh, wait, you can't get it out earlier than 5 years unless you get 1/4 of the 3 months of interest is a penalty. And so people don't read the small, all they do is read the big, and the big print says, woo, 9.6, you can't beat 9.6. 9.6 is amazing. It's amazing. And yeah, it is amazing. That's a great interest rate on a short. If I could get 9.6 on a 6-month CD, I would take it.
Absolutely.
And I talk about moving some of my emergency fund there maybe, but that's not the terms on this. The terms are 5 years or you have a 3-month penalty. The terms are it's not 9.6 for a year, it's 9.6 for 6 months on a 1-year bond. And you know what the last 6 months are? No, you don't, because they don't tell you until later. It could be anything. And I-bonds have traditionally hovered down in the 5 and sub-5 range throughout their history. This is an anomaly that has jumped up. And so
I think
you just can't lock it in. And so it's a myth.
Right, and it's getting a bunch of hype in the news, and the headlines are saying that 9.6%, and then at the very bottom of the article it says, in like a small paragraph, the downsides, and it explains that change in the lock and all of that. So it's important to not just get lost in the hype, but realize the fine print.
CNBC article we have laying in front of us, for instance, says your last chance to secure 9.62% annual interest rate for Series I bonds is October 28th. Wait a minute. Not true. It's not annual. It's calculated as annual, but only for 6 months. 6 months is not annual. So, I mean, right off the bat, we've misled with the headline. But but it gives you something to write about. It's clickbait. It causes people to jump on your little site and read your little stuff. So you're not stupid if you do this, but you're stupid if you do this thinking you're going to get 9.6% for more than 6 months. Minus 3 months if you cash it out early. So if you're using this for your emergency fund, you cash it out early, you're going to negate most of what's there. So I don't screw around with this stuff. It's a variable interest rate product with long-term implications and heavy fees for cashing out early. So it's not a good short-term product, and it doesn't make enough to be a long-term product. So I don't have any money in it. That's why I don't have any money in it. I'm not trashing it. It's just, guys, you just got to learn to look at these things a little more carefully. And once you realize all the gotchas, then you go, well, it's just not as sexy as it sounds.
Yeah. Not quite as attractive as the headlines make it seem.
Absolutely. All right, Morgan is with us in Baltimore. Hey, Morgan, welcome to the Ramsey Show. Get straight to it before we run out of time.
Okay. How much time do we have?
Not much. Go.
All right, I'm going to go. So many questions, but the major one is, okay, I have 3 kids. They are 10, almost 9, and 6. I'm wondering how much you really need to put away per kid for college. I know there's not an easy answer.
Well, the closer you are to college, the more you're going to do almost all of it in actual cash. There's not going to be a lot of growth. So you only got about 8 years for this money to grow.
We've been putting away the minimum on the 529s, like the Maryland 529. So I think that's $2,400 a year since each of them was born. So I calculated.
So you've already started. Okay.
Oh, we have like a lot of cash reserves, hundreds of thousands. We have money on the market. We have money in all these different buckets. So thank God we have a lot of disposable income, but I want to know how much of it realistically, do I need to put away for their college? Because
well, the average in-state tuition today is about $12,000.
Right.
Average
and
in-state
then room
tuition.
And board.
Plus room and board. And so if you say 20 grand times 4 is 80 grand. And if they're going to go to an in-state school and you're going to put them in a dorm. Okay. And so, you got 80 grand a kid. Now, how much have you got, and how much is it going to grow in 8 years to cover that? And that's the calculation. And so it would be different for a 3-year-old than it would a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I'm not going to solely rely on the 529, but you think the number is 80 grand per kid if it's in-state?
Oh, call it 100. Call it 100.
Yeah.
Because we're not there yet, and it's going to go up.
It's going to go up.
Yeah, and if you're feeling kind of stressed and anxious about it, or you just want to be as accurate as possible and as close to the number as possible, I would definitely sit down with a SmartVestor Pro. I mean, that's what we do, and they can really help you lay out exactly how much you should be putting aside every month for each kid at their various age. And
you can use how much you've got now, how old the kid is, and what mutual funds you're invested in, and what they've been returning, and use that formula, and it will tell you exactly what you need to put in there once you establish a target amount with a SmartVestor Pro. But my point is, you can do some quick numbers and go, hey, my target is a minimum of 100 a kid, and that's if they do bare minimum schools, okay? And they get out in 4 years. Hello. There's a little miracle for you. And so, all of that. And so we've got to start training the kids, but yeah, Christine is exactly right. I would sit down with a SmartVestor Pro, and you can get the exact numbers. And I would put the right amount in a 529 to end up equaling about 100 at 18 years old.
Yes, and
get it there.
It can also just reduce some of that stress and anxiety because college costs are going up, and you got kids at different ages. So just to have someone walk through the math with you and just give you that assurance that you're on the right track, it can just give you a lot of peace in that area. Yeah,
it sounds like you've got the money. It's just scattered all over hell's handbasket. So if you just pull it all together and line it up and get it, make it dance with a SmartVestor Pro and put it in, make these ducks get in a row with a 529 in a good mutual fund, you're at least going to get 7 or 8 years of tax-free growth on each of these kids. And that using the 529 and good mutual funds, that's going to be a good plan. So that's what I would do. Go to RamseySolutions.com, click SmartVestor Pro, and you'll find somebody there with the heart of a teacher and help you sort through the actual numbers. But it sounds like you probably are on track, but you just need to get them lined up. Christina, good job. Austin, Ben, Zach, Andrew, and James in the booth, good job. I'm Dave Ramsey. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.